Hello and welcome to Gabe in the Kitchen. So today we're going to be making a very special recipe. It is the Bruce cake. This is a copycat of Get Baked's Bruce cake recipe because we try every week, twice a week, to get a slice of that cake, and it never happens because it sells out within seconds. Literally on the dot, we've tried and it always sells out. So if you're like me and you've been trying, well, guess what? We can make it ourselves, and that's what we're gonna do today. It'll be better than whatever they've got. So I can't promise a 24-layer cake. We'll see how far the batter can stretch, but I can promise many, many layers. So first thing first, make sure your oven is preheating to 158 degrees Celsius. Gonna make sure that's happening, and we're gonna prepare our buttermilk. So grab yourself whole milk, make sure it's full fat milk, and we want to weigh out about 330 grams of that. Distilled white vinegar, which apparently is the same as distilled malt vinegar. I am not convinced, but grab yourself some distilled white.
On that vinegar? When Sainsbury's was selling theirs for 35 pence, how much did you make us pay? £1.60 for this. It better be some good vinegar.
You're gonna need 1.5 tablespoons in there, and this is basically making your own buttermilk at home.
How long for?
10 minutes, but you'll have more than 10 minutes anyway because we're gonna start the rest of the cake. So next, you wanna grab, we don't need 4, we only need 3, so I'll put one back. You're gonna grab yourself 3 8-inch tins or 2 9-inch tins. Make sure it's a single form tin, and you can use a spray, what do they call those things? A spray greaser. Just give it a spray, but I'm just gonna use butter and one of these. You can find them on Amazon. They're pre-cut for 8-inch tins. It just makes life a lot easier. So I'll just grease the bottom just so it sticks. Grab yourself the largest bowl you have. This is the largest bowl I have, and hopefully it's enough for the mixture. It's basically from the stand mix.
7-litre bowl.
7 liters! So we'll start with our dry ingredients. You're gonna need 375 grams of plain flour or all-purpose flour. Yeah, we did have a larger bowl, I lied. Didn't know that was in there. So 375. Immediately sift that into a mixing bowl, like so. 80 grams of cocoa powder. Make sure you get a very good quality cocoa powder because this is what's making up most of the chocolate in the cake. You're gonna have to sift this because it clumps a lot. 83 grams straight in there. Get yourself a teaspoon. You want 3 teaspoons of baking soda straight in there. 1. This is your leavening agent, so don't be shy. 3 in there. Next, you're gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, you wanna grab yourself some salt, and you want about 1 teaspoon in there. The salt you use does matter. We've got basically table salt iodized, so it's salty. So I'm not gonna fill the spoon too much. You want kosher salt, and then you use 1 teaspoon. But if you've got iodized, so just reduce it just a little bit. But yeah, get your salt in there. Then you wanna grab yourself a whisk and then just stir your dry ingredients. Grab yourself 3 large eggs. We've only got medium, but don't tell anyone. At room temperature. And now we're gonna add all our wet ingredients to the batter. Yeah, this is a very easy recipe, guys. 3 whole eggs. If you're confident in your crack, you can do it directly in. If you're not confident in your crack, by all means, use a separate. Next, you're gonna grab yourself your cup measurements. You want about 1.5 of oil. The oil you use doesn't matter as long as it is neutral. So yeah, 1.
Lovely.
The more oil you have, the moister. The more moist your cake will be. Then you want to grab yourself vanilla extract. You're gonna need 2.5 teaspoons in there. Baby, you give me. We're gonna prepare our coffee. We're gonna use espresso. So 1.5 teaspoons of espresso. We're gonna need 1.5 cups of boiling water. Your sugar, you're gonna need 525 grams of granulated sugar. The reason I am adding this now is because I forgot to add it.
Okay,
Someone called
No, Gabriel, you say my lovely wife.
My lovely wife. 525 grams of sugar straight in there.
I would have made a cake without without sugar, you know.
I'm gonna stir this in. Then to that, I'm just gonna add the buttermilk. Mix that in there. Now we're gonna add our hot coffee. Add this last because once it's in, your raisin agents are gonna start activating and working, and you do not want to waste that. So we add it very last thing, straight in there.
Don't pour it all over the side. I'll hold it for you. There you go.
The more liquid your mixture, the moister your cake. That doesn't mean just go pour water in there. It needs to be a well-established ratio. Divide your mixture as evenly as you can. I'm just gonna go for about halfway for 3 of them. Time is of the essence. We're just gonna get these in the oven. Don't forget to give these a tap. So those are gonna bake for a whopping 70 to 75 minutes, guys. Woo! So now, as our cake cooks, we're gonna make our chocolate ganache. So the ratio we figured would be best in terms of firmness and fluidity is a 1 to 1.75. That is very, very much dependent on the brand of chocolate you're using. It ranges anywhere from 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 1.5 to 1. So please just do a little test. Okay, grab yourself a cup of chocolate, grab yourself a cup of double cream, do a batch of ganache, let it set at room temperature, and then see if that's the right consistency for your brand of chocolate. We figured ours is 1 to 1.75 ratio. So we're gonna need 550 ml of double cream. We're trying to save as much chocolate as possible as well. So for this particular recipe, we're just making just about 1.5 kilograms because it's gonna cover a lot of layers. I'm just gonna put this on the hob till it just starts to steam. You do not want to boil this, it will burn it. While that heats up, I'm just gonna add 963. Oh, that's a lot of chocolate.
Do you see the money? 962.
So when you get some steaming action going on like here, give it a stir. Yeah, do not leave this pot unattended. You will burn your cream. You want to push it just till it's about to boil, and then you take it up. So just like this, it's sort of teasing boiling. You can see a little bit of boiling action going on. Take the whole thing, and we're just gonna, that's how easy ganache is. We're just gonna pour it on top. So now you want to constantly stir this till it just combines. And there we have it. Beautifully made ganache. Now, you do not want to whisk this because we want it to be nice and smooth, glossy, silky, with as little air gaps in there as possible. So get yourself one of these and use that to stir it. And there you have it. We'll let that set at room temperature, and then we'll ice our cakes when they're ready. So we've had our cakes cool completely. I did wrap it in cling film. There's a tip. Wrap your warm cakes in cling film and put them in the fridge. The moisture will sit right back into the cake and make it even more moist. Now I'm just gonna go around the cake tin with my palette knife. Now I'm just gonna carefully tip this out. Full disclaimer, we made 2 batches. This is the first one that didn't go wrong. And then we have the second one that didn't go wrong. And then we have our first batch here. It looks fine.
Yeah.
If you want to do a bruise cake, you're gonna have to double the recipe just like we have. So you can cut everything in half and have 6. Our layers are gonna be thicker than theirs, so there's that. So this is essential. A cake cutter. Set it to just the surface. The only reason I'm doing this is because our cake cracked a little bit and it's gonna hold a bit too much chocolate. So I'm just gonna, wasn't even an even top to begin with. Find yourself a bowl and don't waste these. These make great cake pops. Or Bruce's bowls. Yeah, I'll stay on theme, Bruce's bowls. So then reset your cake slicer to about the middle of the cake. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but try and be as even as you can, and then we're just gonna cut right through it again. I'm gonna assemble as I go along because we're limited on space. So grab yourself some ganache, place it, oh yeah, show them the ganache. So this is what our ganache ended up looking like. It's gonna set a little bit harder if the cake goes in the fridge for longer, but I'm happy with this one. So put a dollop on there just to stop things from slip sliding around. And then grab your first layer of cake. It is very delicate, so be careful. I'm gonna hide the crack at the bottom, like so. That's a good cake, guys. And that's layer number 1. Then we'll grab yourself a scoop. This makes things a lot easier. I'll try one for now. Remember, this is this is the first time we're making it. I'll try 1 scoop. And then we'll see how far that goes. Second layer, straight on there. Now here you have to be super careful. Make sure it's perfectly straight. And then in with another scoop of ganache. And we'll repeat till we've assembled the whole cake. If you want more detail on how we do this, we did a video earlier on a pina colada cake, which goes into all the details on how we assemble the cake. So you can check that one out, but we're just gonna skip through the rest. So we got to about, what, 16 layers?
16, are you ready for the reveal, guys?
We're gonna stop here because our cake is too moist. It's starting to collapse under the weight and we have run out of ganache. I'm just gonna use the rest to do a crumb coat and then we'll do the rest. We'll cover the cake and then we're done. So I've done a very rough crumb coat and now I'm gonna set this in the fridge. So this is all we've got left of our ganache, unfortunately. That is not going to be enough to coat that. So I have an idea. Put that in a microwavable bowl like so. And then I also will take this opportunity to make it more glossy. Now you can do this by either adding butter or by adding corn syrup. Since we have both, I'm going to add both. And we'll see how that goes. So half a cup of the Power 41. This is different to the one we initially had. Syrup, grab about a tablespoon. I'll use a bit less. It's not very sweet, so don't worry too much about it, but it will add a nice glossy sheen to the outside. I'll make it a full tablespoon, why not? Let's be brave. And then grab yourself a 1/4 cup measurement, and we're just gonna put double cream in there. All we can do now is cross our fingers and hope that this goes right. What I'm gonna do is 30-second bursts, give it a stir, make sure nothing burns in the microwave. So after about 30 seconds, it's melted quite nicely actually, very quickly as well. So now that everything is melted nicely together, and we've basically doubled our ganache, the final thing I'm gonna do is add even more gloss with some butter. Just gonna melt about 30 grams of butter in there. This will add a lovely, lovely shine. Ooh boy, make it pop. I'm just gonna add a very small sprinkle of salt just to bring everything to life. And there we have it, Gabe's chocolate ganache. So now guys, to make life easier, just pour on, not a lot because it's not gonna set too quickly. Pour on a little bit, like so, and then spread that across. Okay, we'll need a bit more. There's a nice sheen to it, hasn't it? My tip would be if you pour it on the top of the cake first, you'll have better control as it drips down the sides. So at this point, you could get a cake smoother scraper and go around making it all smooth. But this is a bruise cake. It's supposed to look not neat, you know? So rather than do this, which you could do if you wanted, we're just gonna do the other design, which is grab your spatula and then from the bottom you just want to leave indentations all the way across like so. Have it, the Bruce cake copycat. This one, in my opinion, is better than Get Baked's Bruce cake. Anything you can do yourself at home is going to be much better as long as you use the right ingredients than anything you find, you know, mass produced and all that stuff. I'm a bit nervous. Just gonna get a small slice out. Ooh, yeah. Damn! Let's have a taste. We don't taste anymore, but I just have to. I'm not even a cake fan. Oh my god. Just you have to try this. You have to try this immediately. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I would highly recommend you give this a go. It is so easy to make. It is so moist. It is so delicious.
It's not easy to make, guys.
It is easy to make. It's very easy to make. We just have to figure out some things. That's why it wasn't easy for us, but it will be easy for you guys because it's all here. Oh, that is a good looking cake. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please leave a comment and we will reply. Yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.